Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your number one source for tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for Fantasy Premier League football. Today we're going to be going over my final thoughts for Game Week 9, who to captain, Lukaku replacements, whether to bring in Jamie Vardy, what to do with Antonio, Chelsea defenders, City defenders. We're going to be going over all of that today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 25 likes. Leave a comment, who are you bringing in this week? Subscribe if you're brand new. Let's get into the video. So, starting things off, this is what my team's looking like right now. I do still have one free transfer, but I did take out Lukaku last night for Jamie Vardy, just simply because I knew there were going to be price falls, price rises, and that is what happened. Lukaku dropped by 0.1, Vardy was increased by 0.1, and so I'm quite glad that I dodged that. I'm pretty convinced that I'm going to be bringing in De Bruyne as well for Jota. I'm just waiting for the press conference in case anything else happens. I kind of also want to bring in Havertz as well. So part of me wants to wait for the press conference. And if they say that Lukaku or Werner's back like in the next couple of weeks, maybe I won't. But if Tuchel says that they're out for like a month or a month and a half, I'll probably bring in Havertz because he's going to start every single game. And he's literally like their only number 9 they have left at this point. So yeah, I'm going to wait for the press conferences, but I think I am going to bring in Kevin De Bruyne. He's very low owned, and if he pops off, it's just really, really useful. So yeah, this isn't my final team because obviously Jota's on the bench and he will be transferred out. So yeah, let's talk about replacements for Lukaku, defenders to bring in, everything like that. So first of all, the Lukaku injury. It was really, really unfortunate. Tuchel playing him in a game that we're definitely going to win, and Werner as well for that matter, was, well, tactical masterclass apparently, because they both got injured and he shot himself in his own foot because now he really only has Havertz. If anything happens to Havertz, like, they're really, really screwed. They're going to have to play like Hudson-Odoi up front or something like that. So yeah, Lukaku, the injury was very unfortunate. We don't know how long he's going to be out for yet, but it seems like from the grapevine that he is going to be out for 3 to 4 to maybe even 5 games, which is not something you want. Some people are probably going to hold Lukaku hoping for the best, but with that kind of money on a player on your bench, like 11.6 mil that he is right now, you're going to want to invest that in your team somewhere else, even if you have to take a hit. Like I said, I think so many people are going to be taking hits this week just because of all the different injuries that have happened. So yeah, Lukaku replacements. Well, with forwards, there's not a lot of incredible options right now. The main one is, of course, Jamie Vardy, which I brought in myself. He's had over like 800,000 people transfer him in this week, with good reason as well. He is in the form of his life. He's just getting points every single game. Look at that, 8, 11, 8, 2, 12, 2. Like, he's just smashing it. And they've got some nice fixtures as well. Like, Brentford away is a tough fixture. And then he has Arsenal at home, which he always scores against. And then he's got Leeds away, whose defense is terrible. He has Chelsea at home then, which is a bit unfortunate. But, I mean, if you hold him for that, you've got him for Watford, Southampton, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham. Like, you really don't need to get rid of him until maybe game week 18, where he has Everton, City, Liverpool. But then they've got Norwich and Burnley and Brighton. So, would you hold him for those fixtures? Because there's not really any reason why he couldn't score against Everton, City, and Liverpool. It's just 3 fixtures on the bounce that aren't that good. So Jamie Vardy is pretty much everyone's go-to replacement for Lukaku, but there are also brilliant options. So Jesus is one option that you could be thinking about bringing in. He didn't play in the Champions League midweek, and he seems to have been starting every single game so far this season. As you can see on the history, he played game week 2, 90 minutes, game week 3, 60 minutes, 83, 66, 90, 90. The only reason he didn't play at home to Burnley was because he was away on international duty and he just didn't get back in time. So yeah, the fact that he didn't play midweek as well means that he's probably going to be nailed to play against Brighton this weekend. So Jesus is a nice little option. He's only owned by 7.2% of teams as well. And yeah, 8.6 mil, that'll give you a lot of money if you get rid of him for Lukaku. That'll give you, what, like 3 mil? And that could easily be put into so many other places in your team. So yeah, I think Jesus is a good option that a lot of people are kind of not really thinking about too much. I think more people are kind of more inclined to bring in Foden and De Bruyne, but of course they're not strikers, they're midfielders, so you might have to take a -4 to bring them in. Next up, we've got St. Maximin. He's got Crystal Palace away, but then he has Chelsea, but then Brighton, Brentford, Arsenal, Norwich, then Burnley. Like, Norwich and Burnley at home, back-to-back, is like really, really nice fixtures. The only tough one here is like Chelsea. The rest he could easily score in. At the same time, Callum Wilson is probably someone I would go to more. He's a little bit more expensive, but he is on penalties, so yeah, the thing about Newcastle as well, they just sacked Steve Bruce, so they got a new manager coming in whenever that will be. So yeah, whether he just like hits the ground running, he's got some really nice fixtures to get some points in. So I might even think about bringing in Wilson around like maybe game week 12, Brentford at home. Like, would they get anything from that game? Maybe, but then he's got Arsenal, Norwich, Burnley, which, you know, these two fixtures here are just so good to target. Like Norwich and home and Burnley at home is just, it's just the gold mine of fixtures, 100%. Aubameyang, Obama Blood Clark Yang is someone that a lot of people are also thinking of bringing in. He's got some nice fixtures coming up: Villa, Leicester, then Watford. Liverpool's a bit tough, but then he's got Newcastle. But then it kind of goes on to Man United, Everton, Southampton, West Ham. I mean, if you look at his history as well, like, he does play most games, but sometimes he does get subbed off early, like against City, 58 minutes he played. Brighton, he played 71 minutes. If you have a player for 9.9 mil, you pretty much want to play them 90 minutes every single game. You don't want them to be minute managed at all. So yeah, that's one option that I would probably maybe stay away from, just because Arsenal are a little bit shaky at the moment. Like, sometimes they play really well, sometimes they don't play well at all. The big one though for me is Tony. Like, if you're not going to go for Vardy, I think Tony is such a good option. I'm bringing him in next week because I just have to have him in my team with these fixtures coming up. He's got Leicester at home, which isn't to a fixture. So yeah, if you bring in Vardy, you're obviously going against Brentford. You bring in Tony going up against Leicester. So yeah, I guess whoever you bring in, you're hoping it's a goal fest. But yeah, after Leicester, he's got Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle, Everton, Tottenham, Leeds, Watford, United, Southampton, Brighton. That's just such a good fixture run. I'm holding Tony until game week 20. So I'm going to bring him in for game week 10 to attack this Burnley fixture. I'm not getting rid of him until the City at home game, because he's just that good. He's on penalties and he's so cheap. He did get a price rise. He's back up to 6.5. It's what he started the season on. Which is quite nice, because when I bring him in next week, hopefully he should still just be around 6.5. He might go up to 6.6, especially if he scores against Leicester, because those fixtures are just too good to miss out on. But yeah, Tony is a really, really good option. So for me, if I was going to replace Lukaku, which I had, but I didn't want to bring in Vardy, I think the top priority players for me would be Tony, Jesus. I mean, if you don't have Antonio, I wouldn't bother bringing him in, because yeah, he did get the rest last night in the Europa League. But Tottenham, Villa, Liverpool, I mean, that's tough fixtures. Then Wolves, then City, then Brighton, then Chelsea, Burnley, then Arsenal. Like, you want to target Antonio for these fixtures here. Like, game week 18, Norwich, Southampton, Watford, Crystal Palace, Leeds United, Watford, Leicester, Newcastle, Wolves. That is such a good run of fixture, and I'm probably going to double up on West Ham players there. Might bring Cresswell in. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's what I would think about bringing in. Whether you do bring in players like De Bruyne and stuff, I mean, I think he did get a price rise last night, to be fair. He is up to 12 mil again, which is understandable. It was a bit annoying, but I still think that I'm kind of gonna bring him in. Like, the thing is, if Havertz is going to be nailed for like the next 3 or 4 fixtures, then I'll probably bring in Havertz. But the thing is, De Bruyne is just a hold for so long. Like Brighton, Crystal Palace, a little bit more difficult. United, Everton, West Ham. But then look at these fixtures here that I want him for: Watford, Wolves, Leeds, Newcastle, Leicester, Brentford, then Arsenal, Chelsea, but then Southampton, Brentford, Norwich. Like, he's just got such, and he's nailed as well. We don't even know who's really on pens at the moment for City. It might go back to De Bruyne. I think so many players took a penalty last season. I think Gundogan missed one, De Bruyne missed one, Jesus missed one, Sterling missed one. There's so many City players that missed penalties last season, but it is what it is. But yeah, if Havertz is kind of given the green light to play the next 3 fixtures, then maybe I bring him in, because the thing about Havertz is, like, these next fixtures are so good, like Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley. Like, if he's gonna play, can you really dodge those fixtures? And then maybe bring De Bruyne in after in game week 12. Or I could easily just upgrade to Son on game week 12, because that's when the fixtures turn around for United. So I literally could have Havertz until game week. Oh god, no, that's actually made it more difficult for me now. Because if I have Havertz for these 3 and then I trade in Son for him, I've got Son for Leeds, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich. Oh mate, maybe I don't go De Bruyne. Oh man, this is tough, bro. I don't even know anymore, man. That's actually a mad. Okay, I gotta wait for these press conferences, because Havertz into Son is such a good like fixture swing. I think I kind of have to. And then City and Chelsea defense. I mean, Chelsea defense is an interesting one. Chilwell played 60 minutes, I do believe. Azpilicueta played 60 minutes during the Champions League game. Alonso and Reece James came on for them. So it does seem likely to me that Chilwell and Azpilicueta will start against Norwich, but you're not 100% convinced. Christian scored, of course. Rudiger played a full 90. I feel like Rudiger is back though. He still had so much energy. He had a rest with the back injury. Now he's back. He wants to play football. So yeah, I'm not really too worried about Rudiger not playing. But whether you bring in Chelsea defenders now, again, maybe you wait one more week, but that's the best fixture of the week. Like, if you bring in a Chelsea defender and they play, you kind of guaranteed a clean sheet. And if you bring in a fullback like Chilwell or Reece James and they play, they have such good potential for attacking returns as well. So it is a tough one, to be fair. I think the most nailed at the moment, Rudiger being at the top, then probably Azpilicueta, then maybe Chilwell, then Reece James, then Alonso. It's just Chilwell's playing so well at the moment. And even though Alonso is as well, Chilwell is just playing really good football. So yeah, that's the kind of Chelsea defenders I'd take a look at. With City, have you lost like the best fixtures to kind of bring him in for? I don't necessarily think so. I would love to have a City defender right now for Brighton and then Crystal Palace. I would love it, but at the moment in time, I mean, I kind of want to get rid of Tierney, but I really want him for the Watford game, and then Liverpool, I'm just going to play Livramento instead, and then I've got him for Newcastle at home. Then I'll probably get rid of him. So there's some really nice fixtures there, and he's not exactly a problem. He did get unlucky as well. He hit the bar on Monday, which if that went in, I definitely would have kept him. And then Semedo as well, like Leeds, Everton, Crystal Palace. Then you keep him for West Ham. Then he has Norwich and Burnley. So I'm probably going to keep Semedo for those fixtures as well. So yeah, it all depends if these players can match the City players, which I don't think they can, but I'm hoping bringing in the likes of Havertz or De Bruyne, like these low-owned players, they do start returning, and then I do start bringing in some more points that way. So that's the City and Chelsea defender conundrum. Finishing things off, who to captain this week? Well, I mean, the thing is, everybody was going to captain Lukaku. I mean, why wouldn't you? Everyone was expecting him to get a rest midweek, and then he would have been back for Norwich at home, fully fit, ready to dominate, score about 3 goals. It would have been great. But he bloody got injured because Tuchel loves it. So now it's a bit of a situation. I think a lot of people are going to go Salah, even though they are away at Old Trafford. I mean, Salah is in the form of his life. He cannot stop scoring. So I think he's a decent little option. The thing is, though, if you bring in Havertz and he starts, that potentially could be a much better captain option. Because if Salah blanks and you bring in Havertz and you captain him and he scores, like, the different, mate, you're going to be shooting up the league. So yeah, it's a difficult one who to captain. I mean, you could even captain like Chilwell or someone. You could properly go for it, hope that he starts, because they're going to keep a clean sheet against Norwich. And Chilwell attacking returns very much there. But there's not really that many good captaincy options. I would have done a captaincy option video, but like I say, it's just there's not really that many good options now that Lukaku's out, because that was just the standout captain. So I've got the armband on Salah at the moment, but I mean, if I do bring in Havertz, that could easily change. I could even put it on De Bruyne if I do bring him in. So yeah, I'm waiting for the press conferences. There's like 1:30 or something for like Tuchel and Guardiola and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't have to wait too long for that. But yeah, tough captaincy option debate this time. I think most people will give it to Salah, but I think Havertz and De Bruyne are also really good options and differentials as well. Vardy, I personally wouldn't give it him this week. Just Brentford is so good at the back, especially at home. And yeah, I just personally wouldn't give it to Vardy this week, but there's not that many options in my team anyway. But yeah, maybe a Chelsea fallback if you really wanted to. But yeah, Salah might be just the standout option. I think most people will captain Salah this week. So that is going to be everything for my final thoughts video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I haven't really done a final thoughts video today. I was going to do a captaincy option, but I thought it'd be better just to kind of talk about all this instead. So I hope you enjoyed this more than a captaincy video. Leave a comment if you want to know, like, if you want to talk about who you're transferring in and out. I'd love to see what your guys' transfer plans are. Subscribe if you're brand new. We're so close to 300 subscribers, which is just a madness. Like, we were at 150 like a couple of weeks ago. So thank you so much for that. It's absolutely insane. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, I'll keep bringing you pretty much daily FPL content. So I hope you enjoy. Until next time, though, peace.